Today, we're going to talk about Sardinia. You must not have heard much about Sardinia, and what you have heard must be the fabled Costa Smeralda, also known as the Emerald Coast, which derives its name from the color of the water that laps against its white sand beach. But this sybaritic jet-set haven is just one aspect of the rough island in the Mediterranean. First-time visitors to Sardinia are often taken aback by the island's rugged and mountainous terrain, which can be found just a few kilometers from the island's famous beaches. Sardinia is a one-of-a-kind destination, thanks to its distinctive local traditions and customs, sights you won't find anywhere else, cuisine that's quite different from the rest of Italy, and its local language. Although everyone speaks Italian and many people also speak English. So there are plenty of fun things to do in Sardinia. And to know more about that fun, let's look at the top 5 things that you can do here. Number 5. Visit the picturesque Bosa. In addition to the beaches and the extravagant lifestyle of Costa Smeralda, anyone visiting Sardinia should be aware that there are many magnificent locations, rich in history and culture, that you should undoubtedly visit. One of these is Bosa. Bosa is home to only 8,500 inhabitants. The village has colorful houses, a hilltop castle, and a river that runs straight through it. If you happen to visit Sardinia, you really shouldn't miss coming here. It is a small village in northern Sardinia with archaic roots. Bosa, which is crossed by the river Temo, the only navigable river in Sardinia, is recognized as one of Italy's most picturesque villages, thanks to its typical pastel-colored houses, wrought iron balconies, and narrow, winding streets. At the base of the hill, Serravalle, in the ancient village of Sa Costa, stands the Malaspina Castle. Due to the old town's winding streets, alleys, and arcades, only foot traffic is permitted. The Malaspina Castle has a history of about 900 years and was constructed in 1112, the 12th century. The urban village's transformation was determined by the castle's presence in this. In fact, houses started to be built at the base of the castle for protection, birthing the medieval quarter, as Sa Costa more precisely recalls. Bosa has a good number of lovely churches for a town its size, so you should make an effort to stop by at least one. Bosa is also known for the production of Malvasia, a dessert wine. Although you can easily find it in one of the town's many bars, you should try visiting a nearby vineyard for a tasting tour and learn how it's made. Number 4. Explore the beaches of Capo Testra. Capo Testa in northern Sardinia shares the same brilliant turquoise waters and immaculate sandy beaches as the Costa Smeralda and the Maddalena Islands. Many of these are among the most picturesque beaches on the island, surrounded by towering cliffs and bizarrely shaped rock formations sculpted by the wind. The best part is that these beaches, unlike those on the Costa Smeralda, are free and accessible without a boat. The beaches in Capo Testa are tiny. In fact, they are mainly rocky coves that can only be reached by footpaths or by the sea. 3 of the 7 blue flag beaches in the area are located close to the charming town of Santa Teresa Gallura, which has hotels and dining options. These 3 beaches are Reina di Ponte, Reina Levante, and Reina Bianca. The latter is the largest and has shallow waters and a gentle slope. Those looking for windsurfing fun should opt for Santa Reparta. Even without its Roman history, this breathtaking landscape is a very sought-after destination. Capo Testa, with its enchanting seascapes, challenging hiking trails, and endless natural beauty is one of the true highlights of a trip to Sardinia, and will leave you wanting to explore this beautiful island even more. Number 3. The mandatory visit to Costa Smeralda. Costa Smeralda is regarded as the most stunning location in Sardinia, the Mediterranean Sea, and possibly the entire world. Its sea is emerald green, like a precious stone, and it is home to some of the most stunning beaches in the world, including Capercauli, Cala dei Volpi, Piccolo, and Grande Perbero, and Romazzino. Amazing coves include Cala Granu and Cala Petraroe. Just in the center of this coastline, close to the well-known town of Porto Curvo, is the charming beach known as Principe. It is difficult to imagine how this land appeared before the 1960s. It was a wild, deserted area that was mostly rural and uninhabited. Thanks to Prince Aga Khan's investments and the founding of the Corsizio Costa Smeralda, it is one of the most well-known destinations for the international jet set. This region still sets fashion and trends, while also serving as a top vacation spot with enchanted landscapes and distinctive locations. The Costa Smeralda has maintained its distinction as an original and evocative area, despite the construction and its sudden population growth. The landscape is marked by smooth granite rocks that have been sculpted by time, and the Emerald Sea. It's absolutely a stunning location to explore during your stay in Sardinia, but you must visit it first to believe its exclusiveness. Number 2. Unveil Bronze Age mysteries in the Valley of Nergahi. Prehistoric sites, including the 16-meter-tall Neraghi Santu Antine, are scattered throughout the broad, flat valley ringed by the cones of extinct volcanoes. Santu Antine, one of the largest and intricate structures on the island, was constructed in the 16th century BC and consists of 3 towers connected by a defensive wall. This is one of the most fascinating to explore because you can take the upper corridor that connects the west and north towers by climbing the stairs inside the central tower's thick walls to its intact second and third floors. The majority of archaeologists think that these forts were initially constructed as clan-related territorial markers. A shrewd island-wide communication network was created, and by climbing one, you could almost always see another. Many of the earlier single-tower buildings were eventually surrounded by defensive ramparts, spiral staircases, and as many as 17 linked towers by this early Sardinian society, turning isolated bastions into enormous Bronze Age castles. The long-lost Nuragic civilization that created them is now being acknowledged as one of the most advanced in the ancient world. And these otherworldly monuments are still so widespread today throughout the island's winding valleys that they have come to symbolize Sardinia itself. Number 1. Costa Sardo. On Sardinia's northern coast is the charming historic town of Costa Sardo. Costa Sardo's location makes it an ideal stop on a tour between western Sardinia and the islands and resorts of the east. The old town, protected by a castle, is an interesting and atmospheric place to visit. Costa Sardo is a lovely location that's designed to attract and profit from day trippers. Beautiful restaurant tables and shops selling a variety of Sardinian souvenirs are all set up very beautifully in the city's historic lanes, with a visitor center located close to the castle. The history of Costa Sardo is a miniature history of Sardinia. There are probably pictures of the town from the earliest 20th century that you'd find while strolling around. A tall wall and a citadel guarded by a castle stood on the headland on a hill. On the seaward slope of the headland was the densely populated town. Castel Sardo's castle and protective wall were all that could be seen from the landside. Then came a population boom, an expansion, and a passion for brand new frameworks and lifestyles. A new community that expands over the saddle of land below the headland and down to the seashore now covers the slope in front of the citadel, with blocks of unfortunate-looking, sunset-colored modern homes. The Doria Castle, Castel Sardo's iconic landmark, should not be missed during your Castel Sardo visit. It has been transformed into a museum where you can view a variety of items woven using traditional methods from all over the Mediterranean basin. Since only reinforcements were needed to survive the wars rather than the demolition and rebuilding, the fortress has maintained its original shape. The entire Asinara Gulf, the city, and in clear weather, Corsica, can all be seen from the hill the castle is located on. Speaking of Sardinian tourist destinations, there are plenty of enjoyable things to do outside of the city itself, from unwinding on a gorgeous beach to visiting additional historical sites. A lot of fun is packed on this beautiful island. So, when do you plan to visit Sardinia? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, where to next?